Hello, family and friends. This is the conclusion of last week's episode. The previous episode showed how the pistachio cake and Jaden and Julian's breakfast was prepared. Today, you will see how I prepared our dinner. I will be serving Chargrilled Ribeye, Spanish-style yellow rice, Balsamic and honey glazed Brussels sprouts, grilled asparagus, and Parmesan smashed potatoes that didn't make it to the table because I burnt them to a crisp. My mind was all over the place. I really wasn't present. I was thinking of all the things I had to do. It was one of those days I would refer to as a character building day, a purified in the fire kind of day. But it all worked out for our good. The steaks are being seasoned with salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, thyme, rosemary, and of course, the lime juice was squeezed prior to the addition of those herbs and spices. I chose this cut of meat because of the marbling. The marbling promotes tenderness, juiciness, and loads of flavor. The steaks will be cooked in a cast iron skillet that has been preheated. Jaden likes his steak medium rare. Julian and I like our steak medium well. As you can see, we've already consumed half of the pistachio cake. It was very moist on the inside. The outer crust was a delightful contrast, and the flavor from the almond extract was subtle yet powerful. The almond extract added a lovely depth to the cake. The moist and tender inside with just the right amount of crispiness on the outside, plus the lovely depth of flavor created by the almond extract made this cake a 9 out of 10. The balsamic and honey glaze is being prepared. In a pot on medium-low heat, honey, balsamic vinegar, unsalted butter, crusted red pepper, and lemon zest are simmered until thickened. This is my first time making this particular glaze, and it is delicious, but it needs to thicken for another 5 minutes. Rice is being added to the chicken broth that I prepared last night. Chicken thighs were browned on both sides in olive oil, after which finely diced onions, garlic, green peppers, and bay leaves were sauteed for about 3 minutes. Then, chicken broth that I bought from the store, the browned chicken thighs, chicken bouillon, sazon Goya with saffron and salt are added to the pot and stewed for about 15 minutes to intensify the chicken flavor. I was intentional about allowing the flavors to marry in the fridge overnight. I found this method extremely effective in fostering a richer and more delicious flavor. The rice will be cooked for an additional 3 minutes before the flames are turned down and the lid placed on top to steam the rice to fluffy perfection. The tough stems of the asparagus were cut off. I am shaving some of the skin off the bottom of the edible parts of the asparagus for aesthetics. Most times I don't shave this area. The asparagus will be tossed in olive oil seasoned with rosemary, thyme, fresh garlic, and salt. But you won't see that part because, again, it was a character building day, purified in the fire kind of day. I thought that I was recording, but was not. Brussels sprouts are being seasoned with salt, pepper, and tossed in olive oil. They'll be placed on a baking sheet that has been lined or greased with olive oil and placed in a preheated oven of 400 degrees until slightly charred. Look at how pretty the Brussels sprouts are once their leaves were cut and skin was oiled. Their two-toned skin color is dazzling. Mint leaves, sugar, and water are added to a pot and simmered on medium-low for about 10 minutes to create the mint simple syrup that will be used for the blackberry mint mocktail. The Brussels sprouts are roasting nicely. They are browning as anticipated. The smashed potatoes are a different story. They don't even make it to the table. Initially, they were coming along very well, but was ultimately burnt to a crisp. I had to open the doors, the windows, turn on the hood fan. I wish I would have had the cameras rolling for that scene. But again, I pushed the pause button instead of the record button. This is the only footage captured of me cooking the steak. And in a flash, it's gone. You can hear the steak sizzling in the background as I'm pouring the balsamic glaze over the Brussels sprouts. The Brussels sprouts are good and caramelized, but they could have been a bit crispier. Thyme and rosemary butter is slathered on the steak, creating an irresistible richness. The steak was so juicy and flavor-packed. Medium well for Julian and I, and medium rare for Jaden. Yes, you heard it, medium rare. Although things didn't go according to plans, I am extremely grateful for every day and the time I get to spend with my children. Jaden will be going off to college soon, and Julian will follow suit a couple years later. I am committed to ensuring they are pointed in the right direction fully equipped with the tools needed to succeed in life and the wherewithal, confidence, integrity, and boldness to do the right thing, not succumbing to peer pressure, and always putting God first, no matter what.
That was good. That was good. You're Mr. Universe, Jaden All-Star Superstar, and I'm Super Pretty Girl.
Mr. Universe is crazy.
This rice is good. Please don't get the juice on the napkin.
That steak had us licking our fingers and is rated a 9.5.
What about the asparagus chicken?
The yellow rice was very good and rated a 9. The next time I will put a little less water or broth, as it was almost too sticky. I like light and fluffy. That's the goal. The asparagus was a 7. They weren't seasoned evenly. Although the flavor profile was there, some spears were well seasoned while others were not. Again, this was an off day. My asparagus is typically an 8 or above. The Brussels sprouts were a 6.5. Although the glaze was delightful, pouring them over the sprouts made them soft and soggy. This was my first time making Brussels sprouts in many years. The next time I try this recipe, instead of pouring the glaze over the fully cooked Brussels sprouts, I'm going to baste them with the sauce as they roast in the oven periodically to promote caramelization and that coveted crispiness. Overall, the meal was an 8. The Brussels sprouts and the asparagus lowered the overall score. However, I rate the time spent with my family priceless, and it cannot be measured. I love my family. Father God, I thank you for blessing me with my family.